Hey everyone, it's Dr. Elaine Smith from Mendoura. Imagine this, it's 2 a.m. and you're scrolling through your phone, desperate for sleep that just won't come. Sound familiar? Maybe you're also struggling to focus at work, feeling constantly on edge or dodging social events. You're exhausted, but you can't quite put your finger on why. We often brush these feelings off as just being tired or having a lot going on. But what if these are the whispers of anxiety trying to make itself heard? Anxiety disorders are more common than you might think, affecting millions worldwide. Today, we're diving deep into the hidden signs of anxiety, those subtle cues that often go unnoticed. If this resonates with you, stick around and let's get started. Okay, let's talk about overthinking. We've all been there, right? But for someone struggling with anxiety, it goes beyond just replaying an awkward conversation in your head. It's like your brain is a runaway train, constantly jumping tracks to the worst-case scenario. You might find yourself obsessing over things you said or did, analyzing them from every possible angle. And the thing is, you know it's irrational, but you can't seem to stop it. It's like this constant, low-level hum of worry that just won't quit. You might even start avoiding situations altogether just to dodge the potential for future overthinking. And then there's catastrophizing, which is like overthinking's super-powered, anxiety-fueled cousin. Logically, you know it's not true, but anxiety doesn't really care much for logic, does it? This is a classic sign of anxiety, and it's something we're going to explore in more depth throughout this video. Here's the thing about anxiety, it doesn't just live in your head, it manifests physically too. We often think of anxiety as a purely mental health issue, but it's deeply intertwined with our physical well-being. Think about it. You're about to give a presentation and suddenly your heart's racing, your palms are sweating, and you might even feel a little lightheaded. That's your body's fight or flight response kicking in, triggered by the perceived threat of the presentation. But for someone with an anxiety disorder, this response can be triggered in everyday situations, even when there's no real danger present, and it can manifest in a whole bunch of weird and often confusing ways. We're talking about things like chronic muscle tension, headaches that just won't quit, and stomach issues that seem to have a mind of their own. You might feel constantly on edge, like you're always bracing for something bad to happen. Sometimes it's a tightness in your chest, a lump in your throat, or even difficulty catching your breath. These physical symptoms can be incredibly frustrating, especially when you don't realize they're connected to anxiety. You might go from doctor to doctor, searching for a medical explanation for your symptoms, only to be told that everything seems normal. It's your body trying to tell you something's off. Let's talk about social anxiety, because this is something that hits close to home for a lot of people. When we hear anxiety, we often picture panic attacks and overwhelming fear. While those are certainly part of the anxiety experience for some, social anxiety often manifests in quieter, more insidious ways. It's the fear of judgment, the constant worry about saying or doing the wrong thing, the feeling of being perpetually awkward or out of place. It can make even the simplest social interactions feel like climbing Mount Everest in a snowstorm. You might find yourself avoiding phone calls, making excuses to skip parties, or overthinking every single interaction you have. Social anxiety is a real, legitimate mental health condition that can have a significant impact on your life. One of the hardest parts about social anxiety is the isolation it creates. Social anxiety is incredibly common, and there are ways to manage it and live a full, connected life. Okay, let's talk about perfectionism, because this is a big one. Now, on the surface, perfectionism might seem like a good thing, right? Striving for excellence, setting high standards, those are all positive qualities. But when perfectionism is driven by anxiety, it becomes less about achieving greatness and more about avoiding failure at all costs. It's like this constant pressure to be perfect in every area of your life, even when it's completely unattainable. You might find yourself spending hours on tasks that should take minutes, agonizing over every little detail. You might over-prepare for presentations only to feel like you're going to throw up right before it's your turn to speak. And the thing is, no matter how much you achieve, it's never enough. There's always something else to improve, another goal to reach, another standard to meet. It's like this never-ending cycle of striving and never quite feeling like you've arrived. And when you allow yourself to embrace imperfection, you open yourself up to a whole world of possibilities. Ever feel like you could sleep for a year and still wake up tired? Like you're carrying around this invisible weight that's dragging you down? That, my friends, could be anxiety at work. We often associate anxiety with restlessness, with that wired and jittery feeling that makes it impossible to relax. But here's the thing. Anxiety can also lead to profound exhaustion. It's like your body is stuck in overdrive, even when you're trying to rest and recharge. Think about it. When you're anxious, your nervous system is on high alert. Your heart rate and blood pressure increase. Your muscles tense up, and your body releases a surge of hormones like adrenaline and cortisol. Now, in small doses, these stress hormones are helpful. They give you the energy and focus you need to deal with challenging situations. But when you're dealing with chronic anxiety, your body is essentially flooded with these stress hormones on a regular basis. And that takes a toll. It's like running a marathon every single day. Eventually, your body is going to crash. You might experience fatigue, muscle aches, headaches, and difficulty concentrating. The thing is, anxiety can create this vicious cycle of exhaustion. Look, anxiety can make you feel like you're drowning in a sea of worry, completely alone in your struggles. But I want you to know that you are not alone. If you're struggling with anxiety, please know that there is hope, there is help, and things can get better. If you're feeling overwhelmed, reach out to a trusted friend, family member, or mental health professional. There are also some amazing resources available to you, like the National Alliance on Mental Illness, NAMI, in the US, Mind UK, or the European Helpline for Mental Health. You can find their contact information right here on the screen. And if this video resonated with you, let us know in the comments below. Which hidden sign of anxiety surprised you the most? Your experiences and insights could be exactly what someone else needs to hear today. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more videos like this one. Take care of yourselves, and we'll see you in the next one.